BYDFi is a crypto exchange on desktop and mobile where you can spot trade, futures trade, use leverage tokens, and copy the trades of top trade. There's hundreds of crypto available on their spot exchange, as well as a free test account so you can practice futures trading without getting wrecked. BYDFi. Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at some of these charts then, shall we? We'll start with Bitcoin on the 4 hourly. So now we've lost this area, this 61,700, so we've had this in here for a little while. This corresponding to a lot of the price action around here, a little bit around here, and then the retest of this area. So we did have one little bit of a measly bounce from it, then came straight down below it, then rejected, and if we do come up to it again today, I'd probably expect a rejection, to be honest with you. Let's have a look at momentum brewing on the short-term time frames. We'll take it to a 1 hourly, shall we? That's crazy. We'll do it though. Let's have a little look. We'll get rid of this. Right, so what do we see? What do you see? What do I see? Nothing. There's nothing there. Bullish divergence on the money flow index. Nothing on the RSI. And very little on the MACD, so it's not really worth talking about, to be honest with you. It does look like it just wants to continue down. Histogram sort of curling over again on the daily, and again, you know, nothing really here on this daily. So it just looks like a continuation of the downtrend, in all fairness. And the next stop is going to be below 60 to around about 58,900, 59,000, sorry, we'll call it 59,000. That's what it looks like is going to happen. So let's have a look at the weekly, which will emphasize, obviously, the continuation of this. Now, look, as far as the weekly is concerned, there's a major support sitting around here, 56,600, where we got response from last time. But, you know, that would be tested again, and if it breaks, then it does get pretty nasty. Now, I know people were getting really upset with me yesterday. All I've been talking about for ages is this. You know, the chance of a deeper, longer, drawn-out consolidation, not just for Bitcoin, but for stocks, basically for everything. I have been talking about it. I'm pretty sure there's not really many days that go by, certainly no weeks that go by since December where I haven't referenced this as a concept that I'm sticking to, which is that the bigger plan is to allow for a consolidation to take place and then buy those lows in the form of altcoins with the assumption that we're going to end with a parabolic peak similar to all the others have done in the past. Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, you guys, I'm like, most of my viewers are subscribers anyway. You know, that's like 75% of my viewers are subscribers. So you guys will know. I'm pretty sure that's what I've been saying. Anyway, a lot of people didn't like, you know, the concept of that yesterday. Even though we're halfway through it now. You know, I could understand why people might get upset with me talking about it as we're approaching highs, whatever. But as we're already halfway through a consolidation, I'm surprised to hear that, you know, people are upset with the concept that this could make its way down to 40. And look, I've only really spoken about it with Patreons because I know how upset people get on normal YouTube, but I have also speculated that we come down into the 30s as well. I think it's very unlikely that we do that, but there is a chance that it could happen. I'm telling you, there is a chance that that would happen, but I wouldn't hold your breath for that. I think it's more likely that we see 50 than anything else and assume a low around there. We might not even get that. Like I say, we might just have another retest of this, 56,700. You know, we've also got the baseline down here at 54,400. Each one of these, absolutely no reason why it shouldn't form a bottom around there. You know, the Bollinger Band strategy is, while above it, you're more likely to remain above it, which is why we had such a decent response this time. If we come down to it again, you could take the same bet, really, because the same statistics would apply. More likely to remain above the band while you're above it than break down below it. That's just the nature of the game. It's a 65% chance. It's not great, but it's good. It's better than 0. It's better than 50-50, which is where we were before. A few days ago, we were kind of around 50-50. So if we do manage to get above this resistance today, the 61,700, I think the most likely area of resistance is going to be, again, you know, Bollinger Band strategy, isn't it, really? We saw a similar response over here, again here. This was an anomaly, and we were considering maybe we break out from here. But we didn't, and we continued down. So look, if we do move up, it's 63,200 really is where we're going, before moving back down to the bottom of this range, which is, we'll call it just a flat 59,000. And once that's lost, it's no big deal. 50,000 is backed up by a 200 simple moving average. There's also the 52,700, 200 exponential. These are going to be creeping up every day. They're daily moving averages. And the weekly has probably got the strongest supports of all. Mostly this one here, 56,007 or 800. That is a very strong support. But if it gets lost, then yeah, we do have to. We have no choice but to assume deeper and faster. That's all it says. Until then, these are okay. We'll probably be finding little bounces, maybe even reversals from here. But if we break down here, this is when we start talking about the biggest bearish moves. So until we see a breakdown below there, I'm not going to say that we're going to definitely hit 50, although I think it's likely, because that's a mega support. If we hit 50 and we bounce from there, then there's a good chance that that's the low. But if we break down from there, then yeah, well, we do have to think about these areas. I don't understand all this madness that came out. Everyone's just getting really upset with me yesterday. Going, Armageddon, you're calling for Armageddon. I'm not. I'm just calling for consolidation. I am one of them people, and again, you'll have to tell me. If you watch the channel, especially Patreons at least, I'm a very conservative trader. You got to take it level by level. I'm not saying this is going to hit 30,000. I'm not saying this is going to hit 100,000. I'm saying let's take it bit by bit. There's many resistances above us. There's many supports below us. Each one of those is about as relevant as the next one below it. You know what I mean? There's no way anyone... This is why I always find that, you see YouTubers or anybody saying... You see it on Twitter all the time. My predictions for the end of the bull market is XRP $47,000. We've got Matic is going to be at 95,000 and Ethereum is going to be at 15,000. Well, I mean that makes a nice tweet, doesn't it? Really, but based on what? Your thoughts. That's kind of you've got to have some kind of evidence to back up claims like that. But this is what social media has become, and so to a point, I suppose I do have to muscle in with some kind of clickbait-ish title. I think what a lot of people do is that they take the title as gospel and the content behind it, they just don't hear it or understand it. So it's basically that simple. We have lost this support as of this moment in time. The next one below us is 58 to 59,000 and then 56,800 below that. Ethereum below 3, still, again, we haven't broken this area, but if we do break this, just like I said yesterday, this is where alts start to get pretty nasty because it will affect the total too massively. And the Bitcoin dominance massively as well. This is like watching the bath overflow. Do you know what I mean? You're just at that moment before it starts to pour onto the ground and through the kitchen ceiling. That's basically what's about to happen if we lose this area. Again, simple standard Bollinger Band strategy would say that this is the most likely place for a bounce. But if we don't get it, it gets really bad. And look, it's only 65%, which is still better than the opposite, but it's only 65%. So we also have to think about stocks, because if Bitcoin's going to pull back and Ethereum's going to break that major support, what's stocks going to do? So we've worked out really that stocks are bullish, but they are looking for a golden cross retest from a lower area. So I'll be looking for like 5,100 to get tagged, and if that is a genuine golden cross and a sign of continued uptrend, then it will bounce from there and we go on. If it breaks down below there, it's a bull trap. And we get lost and we go down, and probably I would be targeting 4,700 really. Probably just a little bit above that now. Again, the moving averages are creeping up. It's a bullish chart and they'll offer support around this area. But that won't happen overnight, you know what I mean? And like I say, there's plenty of places to get supported on the way down before we even measure out that large move. The money flow index is creeping up dramatically on this daily already, so I don't know how far it's got before it really wants to pull back. But at the moment, yeah, I think it's reasonable to assume a pullback to around 5,100 and see if that supports us. Let's hope it does. And again, oil rallying now, continuing to move up. If we break out from here, this consolidation will be over. Things start to get really bullish above $83. Probably takes you straight up to 93, which is going to affect CPI, which is going to affect inflation, which is going to have echoes in that big room of old men talking about rates, which is the room that is listened to by the market and responded to by the emotional noob masters. If you've got your head attached, you will recognize that this is a really good indicator of all of that noise which is going to come later. That's basically it, really. So, I mean, I'm just going to leave it with you there. There's nothing much more to say. It's just a repercussion, a continuation of what I've been saying for ages, but now we're starting to see it play out, and some people are getting upset and hurt by it, but the reality is it's just a consolidation. It's normal, especially with a chart that's moved up like this, especially with a chart that's moved up like not oil, but oil has moved up, like the S&P. Again, there's your low, there's your high. In fact, you know, if you're a member of this channel, we did these bounces all the way, we confirmed the low, and we've ridden it all the way up and sold again around March. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? So all of this is just fine. It's perfectly normal, and it's perfectly natural to assume and expect a consolidation after a run like this. Stocks have done better than Bitcoin. Just accept that for what it is. Stocks have done better than Bitcoin. It's crazy, but it's true. And so stocks are leading this, and they will continue to lead it. And at the moment, stocks haven't really done much consolidating at all. If it wants to come down further, you can imagine the pullback on Bitcoin, and obviously, you know, the altcoin scenario is hanging by a thread at the moment, with Ethereum balancing on this 20 weekly. So, right, I'll leave it with you there. Feel free to comment whatever you like. I don't mind. In fact, you know, I find it very telling when people start to get, oh, you're. When people start doing that, because it normally means that I am right, because that's the sort of behaviour that I got when I was telling everybody about the alt season that was going to kick in total 2. You know, the same thing, buying it around here. That's what I get. So I'm getting it now, and it's sort of making me feel a bit more comfortable in my bias, because hearing those moans that's normally confirmation enough for me. Right, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you have a nice day. I'm going for a nap. My kids kept me up all night, so that's it for me. I'm having a good old sleep. Take it easy, and yeah, have a nice day.